Okay, everybody. Well, it is the top of the hour, so we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Harlequin Murray, and just like you, I am an agent with David Allen Capital and one of the team leaders here. But it's my pleasure to get to introduce our overall team leader, Miss Ellen Winn, who's been a friend of mine for many years. But just a little bit about her background. Um, she grew up on a farm in Dallas and had a long career in the restaurant industry and was a national level trainer. Actually not national level, but she was a trainer for them. But she left corporate America in 1997 to start her own restaurant chain, and she never looked back. But in 2001, she was introduced to network marketing and helped in that industry, and she was actually a trainer for them whenever I met her. But she currently owns 3 businesses, and she is our team leader, and we are one of the fastest growing and highest producing teams in all of David Allen Capital. So without further ado, let me introduce our team leader, Miss Ellen Winn.
Hey, Harlequin. Thank you. Hello, everybody. How you doing tonight? Got lots of smiling faces on here, nods. Good to see you guys. If you do have camera, I always love seeing your face on camera, especially when we get to Q&A a little bit later. So keep that in mind if you do have camera access. So thank you, Harlequin. I appreciate that. I couldn't do what I do without you. Harlequin has been a backbone for this team with me for the past year. As I committed to doing these weekly calls, she committed to being here with me and has not missed a beat. She's been agent of the month in the past, so she's really a great asset to all of you guys. She goes out of her way to help people, whether they're part of her team or not, and that's being a true team player. So thank you, Harlequin. I appreciate that. As always, I like to get us started in screen share mode. I'm going to go into our presentation. Actually, I need to get out of this for 1 second and get me into a different slide. I've got the middle of the slide up instead of the beginning of the slide. Here we go. All right, now I'll get back over so I can share that screen. All right, screen share, look good?
It looks good.
Awesome, thank you. Okay. All right, guys, I always start out with team recognition. This is something that the company started doing a little over a year ago. And when they did that, I started adding in our team performance and highlighting people on our team that were producing, whether they were on the company leaderboard or not. And it's something that I've continued on, and I love doing the recognition here for folks that are doing a great job of recruiting. So let's get into it. This is going to be for the week of 8/19 through 8/25. In first place, we have Eric Johnson. Great job, Eric, with 10 new recruits for the week. I came in second place with 7 new recruits for the week. Third place, we had Chris Bartalis with 6 new recruits. Great job, Chris. And in fourth place, not only is he in fourth place with 5 new recruits for the week, but he also had his first new recruit as an agent here with DAC. So congratulations to Rudy Peen. That's what the green highlight is. He got his first agent ever and came in with a total of 5 for his first round of recruiting. In fifth place, we have a 2-way tie with Cheryl or JC Evans and RT Funding Pros, which is Thomas Liuzzi. Both of them had 4 new agent recruits each. Congratulations, JC and Thomas. In sixth place, we had Joseph Jones III with 3 new recruits. Congratulations, Joseph. In seventh place, we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-way tie with Larry Eaton, Marilee and John Ernestberg, Maurice Evans, Mercy Funds, which is Grace, Harlequin Murray, Malika Randolph, and Danny Thomas. Each of these guys had 2 new recruits for the week. So congratulations to you two being tied there for 7th place. Also, we have what I used to call our honorable mention, and that's someone that had at least 1 new recruit. And we've got several here that got their first recruit ever. If they're highlighted in green, you can see Bridget Boggin got one new recruit. Congratulations on that being your first recruit. Silver Indigo Business Funding, one new recruit, the first recruit ever. Eugene Clapp, one new recruit. Lamont Davenport, one new recruit. Chris Fertig, one new recruit, and that was his first new recruit. Chris also got a funding this week as a new agent. So huge congratulations goes out to you, Chris, for success in recruiting and also getting that funded deal. We have Michael Graney with one new recruit, Suzanne Keeter, Dr. Bridget Linderborg, Mara Maldonado, Richard Marine, Lorna Moore, Kara Phillips, each had one new recruit. Janie Potts had her first new recruit ever with one new recruit. Archangel Ramos had one new recruit. Joanne Ryan, congratulations on your first new recruit ever with one for the week. Arnell Santos, Gloria Simmons had her first new recruit ever with one for the week. Jerry Smith, Laurel Smith, Linda Spion, Ted Storenko. Ted had his first new recruit ever and came in with that one new recruit for the week. John Suarez, Brianna Trader, Randy Turner, and Maurice Wright. And Maurice Wright has been in the hospital, and we've got, thank you, Eugene, for posting a video on the Facebook group with him. Glad to see that he's back doing some videos and in process of recovery there, as he's had a rough road with his MS diagnosis and trying to go through rehab. So congratulations to everybody on the leaderboard. If your name is not on the leaderboard this week and you're out there having conversations with people, whether it be about the funding, whether it be about our agent opportunity or customer finance, any of the services that DAC office offers, if your name's not on the leaderboard, it's just a matter of time before you will be having success, as long as you don't quit. So congratulations to you too, if you're having those conversations and just haven't had one go across the finish line yet. All right, talking about success, I saw this post and I wanted to share this tonight and just talk a little bit about it and take it into a little bit bigger detail, closer detail for you, so that you truly understand. Because I know a lot of people saw this post and they're reading the dollar amounts and going, okay, what is this real? Is this really possible? How does that work? So I'm going to break it down for you. So this is a true story. This was posted on Thursday, August the 26th this year, by our company founder, David Rutz. He posted this in the Facebook group and he said, true story this week. A new agent starts and gets a $120,000 funded client during their first 30 days, actually their first 2 or 3 days, from what I understood David to say today. What did that new client earn on her? It was her first funding, so she got paid 3% of $120,000, all right? And 3% of 120 is $3,600 commission that the new agent earned for bringing a client to the table in her first 30 days and her first client altogether. After that first client, that would have made her amped up. So her next client, as long as she gets her second client within that 30-day window from the first one closing, then she would get double and earn 6% on that next funding. What if that agent had been, this would have been that agent's second funding, right? If it had been and she'd earned 6%, she would have earned double. Instead of $3,600, she would have earned $7,200 commission on one client. Gotta love this pay plan. All right, so that's the first part of it, understanding the agent's commission, okay? The second part of this is her enroller. Her enroller is amped up. What is amped up? Well, that means her enroller has had a personally funded client. She's had her own funded deal within the past 30 days. To get amped up, you have to have a new funding yourself, and you got a rolling 30-day window from whatever date you get amped up and have that funded deal close. You're amped for 30 more days, right? So the enroller was amped up. She's also a DAC 4 in the commission plan. What is DAC 4? Well, let's go take a look at this real quick. DAC 4 is where you've moved up to this rank. This is the highest rank in the comp plan that you can get to on your own abilities without building a team, right? So to get to DAC 4, you have to have at least 4 personally funded clients, and those 4 or more funded clients have to have at least a total funded value of $40,000 or more. This particular agent has had probably tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars in personal fundings at this point, because I know she's very active, but she is a DAC 4. I just want to explain that in the comp plan. So what did she earn as the enroller of the lady that got 120,000? Well, as a DAC 4, she's amped up. So, and this is a first 30-day bonus. So in your first 30 days, if you are engaged, you're earning a 50% matching bonus on your personally enrolled agents. If you're amped up, you're going to double that. So you earn, instead of 50%, you earn 100% match. So her enroller was amped. So that meant she earned 100% match. Okay. So her fast start bonus match on the young lady that did the client is still $3,600. She gets a dollar for dollar match. So the agent that brought the client got $3,600. The enroller got 100% match. So she got $3,600 plus another $1,080 on her 30% match. So add those two together. The enroller bonus was $4,680. So let's go on over to our comp plan, and I'll show you where that 30% match comes from. Here's the DAC 4 that I just explained, and here's that 30% match. So as you move through DAC 1, you've had 1 personally funded client. I mentioned Chris a minute ago. Chris is now a DAC 1 because he's had his one personally enrolled agent. So that bumped him up or leveled him up in the comp plan. As you get 2 funded clients under your belt, that takes you to DAC 2, and then you're eligible for a 15% match. And DAC 4s,
Daddy has them.
percent match.
Daddy has the donuts.
Harlequin, can you get that for me? Thank you. All right. And a DAC 4 gets a 30% match. So you can go look at the comp plan. It's in the Agent Resource Center under the big green 1, 2, 3 at the top of the page. Number 3 is compensation. There is a video there with your personal commissions, your enroller and leadership overrides. And then video 3 of the comp plan is the residual overrides there. But this is on page 3 of the compensation document that is under the big green 3 at the top of the page, right? So that's how that breaks out on that post that was made in the Facebook group. I'll be glad to take questions on that after we finish. And as I go through this information, if you do have questions, please write them down, because we'll do Q&A at the end of my training tonight. Okay. So the moral of this story is get amped up, stay amped up, and get yourself to DAC 4 as quickly as you can. Again, get yourself there, because you can get all the way to DAC 4 without building a team. It's just a matter of you getting personal funded clients in the compensation plan. All right. The next thing I want to point out, back to this same sheet, is all of these bonuses. For you to earn these bonuses, you have to be engaged. Okay. So what is engaged? Well, engaged means that you are either brand new in the business and you are in your first 60-day window, or you've had a personally funded client within the past 60 days. So we go from being amped up with a 30-day rolling window. After 30 days, it rolls into that bigger 60-day window where you go from being amped to engaged. Okay. If you're amped, you're automatically engaged because they overlap, right? But being engaged is your first 60 days, you're automatically engaged, or you've had a funded client in the past 60 days and you're in that 60-day window, or you have 6 personal customer finance clients. Those are the 3 ways you become engaged. So for many of you, you've been here longer than 60 days. So you're outside of that new agent engaged grace period, right? So that means that if you don't have a personally funded client and you don't have 6 customer finance clients yet, you're not eligible to earn those leadership bonuses. But because of the August promotion, which ends tomorrow night at midnight Pacific Standard Time, because our time clock goes on California time, right? It's run by our partners at Longevity. So midnight Pacific Standard Time or 3 a.m. Eastern Time is the shut off to get new agents in the system. So I would be on an all-out recruiting frenzy today through midnight Pacific time tomorrow to see how many new agents I could find to bring them into the business. Because even if you're not engaged according to the comp plan, if those new agents go out and get a funded client, you're going to be eligible to earn the leadership bonuses as if you were engaged, right? Because of this August promotion. So go get after it and see if you can put 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people in your business before midnight tomorrow night and take advantage of this. Because you could be the lucky one that recruits someone that goes out and gets $120,000 funding for their first deal. And you would automatically be eligible to earn that 50% matching bonus because you would be considered engaged because of this promotion. Now, if you're engaged according to the comp plan anyway, this is just extra gravy out there for those folks that haven't gone and done the work yet. But you will get paid just the same, engaged or amped up according to the comp plan if you do have your own clients. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of things that David has talked about the past week or two. I want to go back and recap a couple of things. We got a lot of new people coming in. I want to put this on the screen just to touch on it real briefly. If you have had funded clients, I mean, you've brought a client to the table, they got funded prior to May, well, they are probably eligible for a renewal. So what does that mean? That means that you need to reach out to your client, because once they get funded, you've got your client's contact information, right? You need to reach out to them and introduce yourself, create that relationship with your client so that they always come back to you and ask them, are they open to additional funds? Is there a need for them to have additional funding? Because of the time lapse, they're possibly eligible for additional funds, right? Ask the business owner, and if they say, yes, I could use some additional funding, then say, great, well, I'm going to send your information over to Lindsay. She's in charge of our renewals at David Allen Capital. I'm going to send her your information, so expect to hear from her, okay? And if that's the case, all you need to do is send an email to Lindsay, Lindsay, at davidallencapital.com, okay? And put renewal in the subject line. And then you're going to include the client's info for Lindsay to know who to reach out to. And then she will take it from there. She'll reach out to the client. She'll look at their funding documents. She'll pull any new funding documents that she needs as far as bank statements, etc., and she'll be able to get them a renewal offer if they're eligible. All right, so that's a great tool for you there. Now, speaking of clients and and who you have in the mix, you need to be tracking your clients. So this is a screenshot of your back office. I've got the Longevity back office tour video that I did, and it's posted in my Vimeo channel. But I wanted to do this screenshot just to show you easily how you can access your list of customers, right? You can just log into your back office, and the customer tab here at the top of the page, you click on that and it'll show you every customer that you have in the DAC system. Now, I take it a big step further than that, okay? Because I've got a lot of applications that have come in over my 3 years here with DAC. So I don't like tracking them from the back office. I like tracking them starting with my email. In my Gmail account, I have a label set up. So everything that comes into my email from submissions at David Allen Capital, I have a label for that. And I also set a filter for it so that it automatically gets tagged to that label and is in that folder by that label. If you don't know how to do that, simply Google how to create labels and filters in Gmail, and there'll be a video there walking you through how to do that. So that's the first way that I track my clients and activity. I do the same thing. I have that tracking with my personally enrolled agents, and I have a folder set up for my customer finance clients, because those emails are coming from a different partner. They're coming from our partners at Enable, right? And I also have a folder set up for my Biddy Advance email. So I can go look in my email real quickly, click on that folder, they're automatically sorted, and I can go back and find someone really easily in my email. But I even take it a step beyond that. I also use Google spreadsheets. I used to use Excel with Microsoft, but Google has free spreadsheets. They're available, accessible on any platform. You can be on your mobile phone, you can be on a tablet, you can be on your computer, PC, or iPad, whatever. As long as you've got access to a Chrome browser, you've got access to those spreadsheets. So I love my Google documents, and I use the Google spreadsheet, and I have every single client that has ever applied. When I first get that email from DAC saying, congratulations, someone just filled out the pre-qualification form, I go in and copy the information from the email, paste it over into my spreadsheet. There I've got the date that they applied, I've got the business name, their phone number, the business owner's name, and their email address, right? And then as they move through the process, I color code them. If they have opted out, they're color coded in red, and I've moved them on to a different section of my spreadsheet. If they're still in process, maybe they've received an offer, but they haven't accepted the offer, I'll highlight them in yellow. If they got funded, they said yes to the offer, I highlight them in green. So just kind of throwing out some of the things that I do to track that, because you guys know I've got a large team, but I've also got a large client base of people that have come through the application process. Not nearly all of them. It's just a small percentage of the number of people that have applied over time that have actually accepted the funding, or not just accepted, but actually met the qualifications. Most people that meet the qualifications that get an offer will accept it. Okay, but what we run into is a lot of people applying that don't actually qualify. So just want to put that out there to the different layers of how I track my business, and not just relying on what is available there in the back office. I go ahead and track them before they actually show up as a customer in the back office, so that I know who to go back to. So I know who I can reach out to see if they're eligible for renewal, and get that information back over to Lindsay, right? Okay, a couple of updates here, 3, 4 updates actually. Bank Breezy, David talked about this today. The Bank Breezy application pages are going to be updated, and they're going to mirror the Biddy Advance process. So if you go over to, actually, let me do that right now. I want to show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to go to our David Allen Capital page. If it'll open for me. There we go. When I say they're going to mirror it, if you go to davidallencapital.com for our business capital tab, and you go in to get qualified, here you see our application process is in stages. There are going to be a few pages of the application. So DAC is going to kind of mirror this process, but they're going to take the Bank Breezy Biddy Advance application and going to layer it so that you can see step 1 and step 2 in that application process. David said he's doing this for training purposes, so it's easy to show to agents what that application process is without you actually having to go in and click submit to get an application started. So realistically, I'll show you here. I'm on the DAC funding. I can acknowledge these 4 things here. I can say I'm wanting $50,000. How much am I averaging in sales this month? 75,000. No. And then my information is automatically there. Why is my information there? Because they went now clicked on a link that had my ID number at the end. So now I can click on to next and go to the second level of this application before submitting. Okay. To do that with the Bank Breezy application, if you go through that right now, you actually have to submit, which takes the information all the way over to Biddy Advance to get through from that first page to the second page to see how it works. So it's going to be mirrored and be in steps and stages like this is, because I can go ahead and get all the way through this to fill out even more information on here. So I'm going to do Bank Ellen let's see, that looks good. 5 years. And I think people are actually doing this when they're filling out the application, because we get a lot of people that do not qualify. Nature of business, restaurant. Let's do that. Whew. Oh, that makes my soul weak when I think about being in the restaurant industry again. Makes me nervous. All right, so now I'm going over to the next page. See, this still hasn't been submitted on into DAC, so it lets me fill in the information and go all the way over. Now you can see where the stage is that you're filling in the owner's information, and select files from your computer. This is where your applicants that are going through davidallencapital.com actually have to upload their documents, upload 3 months bank statements, upload their copy of a voided check, and upload a copy of their driver's license, right? So all of that is here, the driver's license, the business check, 3 months bank statements, etc. And then once you complete this page and fill all of this out, then you're going to be submitting. But it's taking me back to previous because I'm not filling it out. But they're going to do that for Bank Breezy and Biddy Advance, so you'll be able to see exactly what is necessary there. Okay. All right. So that's how it's going to be mirrored, and we should see these updates. David says probably by Friday. I do know that they're in process right now, having some conversations with Biddy Advance, doing a few little tweaks. One of the tweaks that he said today is that we're going to start receiving the client's information after they have completed page 2 of the app, right before they go into the bank linking. As it is today, you do not get the client's information other than their name. You don't get that until they have requested contract, right? We're going to start getting that after they've gone through the first step and the second step, verifying that they are actually a viable candidate with an EIN number. You're going to start getting those notifications with the client's information. So big applause there for David and Wade and the funding team, moving through processes to make it a little bit easier for us to help follow up on those clients that are probably slipping through the cracks right now. They don't understand the offer. I'm understanding that there's going to be some tweaks to the offer process as well. I talked to Wade earlier today, and he said they've been in deep conversation with Biddy Advance on some of the little things that they can tweak to make that presentation to the client a little bit more appealing and a little bit more open, so that they can see exactly what their options are on the payback term. So I'm looking forward to seeing that again, probably Friday. We covered this last week, but I wanted to put it on the slide again in print. Your client, if you're getting notification that your client has requested contract, if you haven't heard from them within 2 hours and seen that next step saying contract signed, then you need to be reaching out to the client. At that point, you've got their phone number. You need to be reaching out to them, introducing yourself. Let's say it's me. Let's say that somebody filled out an app on my ad. Say I had a Craigslist ad out there and I never actually talked to the client. They just went straight through my website. They don't know who I am. But if I see a contract requested or a contract sent email and I get the client's name, I'm going to reach out to them. I would call and let's say that it's Randy that has applied. I would call and I'd say, hey, Randy, this is Ellen Winn with David Allen Capital and Bank Breezy. I just wanted to call and introduce myself. I see that you have requested a contract from our funding partners, and I wanted to make sure that you saw the email where they have actually sent the contract to you. I want to make sure that you saw that. Did you have an opportunity to take a look at it yet and get the conversation started? Just ask the question and let them talk. When I did that with a client recently, that client said, man, I'm glad you called. I got the contract and I'm just not comfortable with this. And he started telling me all the frustrations that he was feeling about it and not being sure whether he wanted to move forward or not. But because I was a human that was reaching out to him outside of just the rep that he had talked to at Biddy Advance, he ended up moving forward because I assured him that, it wasn't just cut and dry as is. I said, look, you've got some options here. He didn't like the daily payback. And I said, did you see the option where you can request weekly paybacks? And he said, no, I didn't see that. And I said, yeah, you can do that with your account manager that you're dealing with there at Biddy Advance. And he said, oh, well, that's good to know. And I said, did you see the early payoff discounts? And he said, no, I didn't. I said, well, it should be in your contract, but if you have questions about it, just ask your account manager at Biddy to explain how that early payoff works. Because if you pay off in 30 days or 60 days, there's huge discounts to what your total payoff will be. And after just a brief conversation and me genuinely wanting to know more about his needs and offering assistance, he ended up calling back. And then he called me and he said, hey, Ellen, thanks so much. I appreciate that. I talked to my account representative there, and I've gone ahead and submitted everything. This is going to work out great. So a happy client, but only because I reached out. So when you do that reach out, you want to make sure that the client is looking for an email. It will come from contact@biddyadvance.com. The actual email address itself is no reply at mail.hellosign.com, but the from name will be contact@biddyadvance.com. And the subject line will say urgent in caps. And this is just an example saying $12,500 funding agreement. So whatever that dollar amount is will be in that yellow highlight space, right? That's what they need to be looking for. So hopefully you can help our team close more deals with this new process that's coming your way to be able to send you that contact information of folks that are applying. All right, next thing I want to do is do a brief run through of what David covered today. And I know many of you on the call here or on the leadership call, or you may go back and watch it, but I want to show you and do a visual walkthrough since we've got the document posted now. And this is the game plan meeting. So if you're on here tonight and you're really serious about building your DAC business, then we need to do a game plan, okay? And what is a game plan? Well, it's really, let's get to know each other. Let's get to know what your goals are, what it is that brought you to DAC, why you're here, why you're wanting to build a business here, what are your personal goals, what are your financial goals, and then how much time are you willing to put into building your business, right? We do that conversation to get to know each other, and then we say, okay, well, how much is it that you're wanting to make? And that's where this new document was just uploaded today. It's in the Agent Resource Center. If you go under the miscellaneous team building tools, you'll see it under number 4 here, game plan PDF uploaded today. David has also uploaded our business opportunity slides. Those are there available in PowerPoint or Mac Keynote, whichever version you have. If you're on a Mac, then you need the Keynote, or if you're on a PC, then you need the PowerPoint. Or if you're like me, I have a PC and I also have a Chromebook, then PowerPoint, you can download that, save it to a Chromebook, and it'll work fine with the Google presentation slides, which these slides that I'm using tonight, these are Google presentation slides that I use each week. Okay, so that's where you'll be able to find that. But let's look at the document itself and where you're going to fill in the blanks. And David went through some examples, but I want you to pull out a pen and paper right now, and I want you to calculate what your numbers are, right? Let's go through what your numbers are and what it is that you're wanting to make here with DAC. So write down what that number is on how much weekly income you need to be making here with your DAC business. And it could be right now where you're working as part-time and you're adding that additional income that's going to help you make your house note or buy the new car or help you pay off your credit card debt, whatever that financial goal is. Or maybe that desired weekly income is your replacement income, where you're trying to replace your job income with DAC income. Now, I will say that if you're trying to replace a job, you need to be doubling that amount of money that you're making with DAC before you walk away from a job. At least double it instead of matching it, because with this being sales, you need that steady income coming in, because if you get to a point where you don't have a steady income, a business owner can sense that you're stressed and you're trying to kind of push them along too hard. So you want to have it where you're genuinely out here creating relationships and helping those business owners. Okay. But whatever that number is, I want you to write it down what your personal amount is. And I'm going to use 5,000 as an example here on desired weekly income, just to go through this. So the desired weekly income, I'm going to write 5,000 in here, and we need to use these numbers. So the average Bank Breezy client is $8,400. That's the average right now of clients that are coming through Bank Breezy, as little as 2,000 all the way up to 25,000 through that funding platform. But the average is 84 if we take all the highs and lows. And we also have our average DAC client. If they go through the larger funding amount, the average is $40,000. So if you're looking at personal clients, after you get your first client at 3%, then you're going to be making 6% minimum, right? We got those extra add-ons that you qualify on leadership bonuses. You also get those on your own fundings, but we're going to keep it simple and just look at 6% of 8,400, and we're going to round it up to $500 to make it simple math. Okay. A DAC client, the average client is going to be worth $2,400. So let's talk about this a minute before I go through the worksheet with you. David was talking today about how he has agents that go, well, I just want to go for the big fundings, right? I can assure you that if you're working on the smaller fundings, they're going to lead to more of the big fundings, because if you're only targeting people that are doing 20,000 or more that will qualify for that DAC funding, because you're looking at that bigger ticket item, you're going to be missing a lot of the little fish in the pond along the way. And the thing that makes Bank Breezy really work for us is that we've got a unique niche with that. None of these other funding companies want to deal with these microloans that we have access to with Biddy. So we're one of the few companies out there that can even help these business owners that are doing just $5,000 a month in sales. So if you're truly here to serve, don't overlook those smaller businesses that will eventually turn into bigger businesses just because you're looking for that higher ticket item. You know, I look at Bank Breezy, David Allen Capital. I want to backtrack something I said. When we first launched Bank Breezy, you know, you've got either bankbreezy.com or you've got the 25K Today tab of your website. And when we first launched it, I was using the 25K Today tab of the website, and I wasn't using bankbreezy.com at all. And then we started having all of these applications come in where people didn't qualify. Our message to market was not clear. The funnel that we were using was not tight enough to eliminate a lot of people that really didn't qualify. There were a lot of sole proprietors that didn't have EINs, and we had to tighten up some things on that page. But in the process, I went from using the davidallencapital.com /25K up to 25K Today tab over to using just Bank Breezy, because I was trying to help narrow the funnel and limit some of the work that our internal team at David Allen Capital was doing. But I've flipped the switch on my marketing strategy now, and I'm going back to using the davidallencapital.com website and using the 25K Today tab, which is the Bank Breezy tab of our David Allen Capital site. So that's where I'm doing all of my marketing to now, and I'm starting to get some apps in that I wasn't seeing before I made that switch. Because I really, and what I felt like in the beginning was when you market that one page, you're not just doing Bank Breezy, you're showing David Allen Capital, and you've got this full portfolio of other services that you market. And if you're doing cold marketing, I really think that it helps add to the legitimacy of our business application in the first place, because you see all of these other services there. So moving forward, I'm not using bankbreezy.com. I'm using davidallencapital.com / up to 25K Today. Let me go over here. I'll show you on the site up to 25K Today tab, which is Bank Breezy, right? Just want to make sure that at the end of that link that you add your agent ID number right here. Add that ID number at the very end, and then copy and use that. If you're using a domain redirect, then you would use that. Okay. But that's where I am on marketing the business. So let's go back to that conversation. So I really believe that leading with that Bank Breezy page of the website is going to get you the best of both. You're not going to miss clients if you're using that tab. So instead of trying to just do the 20K, start with that 25K today. And if they don't meet those qualifications, they can easily click on that next tab for business funding. Okay. So your desired weekly income, we're back to $5,000. I'm going to pull my notepad out here. I'm going to do 5,000. How does that match up? Well, 5,000, how many Bank Breezy clients do I need to make? So I take 5,000 divided by the 500, right? That would mean I would need 10 Bank Breezy clients, 10 Bank Breezy clients. Or if I need 5,000 and I've got a mix of Bank Breezy and DAC, it could be just 2 DAC clients would put me at 4,800, right? Because each client's worth 2,400 on average. So 2 clients could be with DAC or 10 clients with Bank Breezy. So weekly income divided by 500 will be 10 Bank Breezy, total funded clients times 2, meaning you need double applications. That's what this is. So if I'm looking at 10 Bank Breezy clients, total funded clients times 2, I need 20 application packages coming in. All right. Now, this is only if I'm working in warm market with people that I either know, have a relationship with, or somebody is doing a referral, or maybe a local business that I'm going into and doing a drop card. David said today, if you're doing cold market advertising like Craigslist or Google pay-per-click or any kind of cold market advertising, he said you can expect to do 15 applications started before you get a funded deal. And I would probably agree with that. Maybe not quite 15, but on average, the number of applicants that are going to come through and get started. I've had 2 this past week that got funded all the way to the funding, and they submitted some documents that were fraudulent. 2 applicants in a row, I've had fraudulent documents coming in. So, and they came from cold market. They found me on Google or Craigslist. So just know if you're doing the cold marketing, you're going to have a whole lot more applicant packages coming in to get to the number you want. All right. How will you accomplish this activity level each month? You know, are you going to be doing this through drop cards? Are you doing it through advertising? Are you doing your warm market? Warm market is by far your #1 best method to reach out. Okay. Let's see, they will average $400. Oh, okay. Let's go into the personally enrolled override. So you got your 5,000 weekly income that you want to make. You can do it on your personal agents, or you can do personally enrolled agent with matching bonuses. So they will average $400 personal commission. You earn 50% of that. So your average is going to be $200 override on matching bonuses. So weekly funded clients from frontline agents times 200 equals X amount of dollars. So let's think about the recruiting incentive that we have in place right now. It's not just about recruiting a lot of people. It's about recruiting quality people, or recruiting a lot of people and having a real good process of going through those contacts and having further conversation to see who it is that's really going to get engaged, and who you're going to spend time doing a game plan with, and who you're going to spend time doing a touch base with every single day on what activity are you doing? What was your goal? What did you actually do? What was learned, and what was the difference, right? Or what was the difference and what was learned? So those are the things that you're going to look at in the game plan strategy. So you got your frontline incomes. And then when you get to your team override matching bonuses, you're going to see that on your team, you're going to average $78 per team. So write down these numbers: 500 average on personal fundings, 170 on your personally enrolled agent. David's got 200 on here, but the example we went through today was 170. And then your team overrides is going to be 78. So as you're building out your organization, for every 100 clients, you're building a big team, 90 will be
Ellen?
Bank Breezy.
Ellen, I'm going to interrupt you. Remember, he put 170, but it was actually 190.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It is. Yep. And I've got 190 on my page. But I heard him say 170 so many times. You're correct. So 190 is closer to the 200, right? So 200 is a nice round number. But out of 100 applications coming in, 90 of them are going to be Bank Breezy, 10 of them will be DAC. So you can see that 90-10 rule on whether it's going to be a $500 client or a $2,400 client on average, right? Going back up to the top of the page there. So if you're earning an average of 4.5% commission on your team, 100 clients coming into your organization, you're going to earn $52,000. 100 new clients coming into your team will earn $52,000. Oh, I'm sorry. The team will be paid $52,000 and you would earn an average of 15%. So you'd make $7,800. So for every 100 in your team times 15% of 5,200, you're going to earn $7,800. So figure out how many fundings your organization needs to be doing for you to hit your monthly goals as a team leader, right? So that's how the game plan document is going to break out. And I kind of scrunched that up for this presentation tonight. All right, so that's the end of my slides. Let's get back over here face to face on camera. You can go through that document or we can go through it together. Screen sharing has stopped. Over, we're back on camera. All good. Okay. All right. So who do we have that has questions or comments? You can raise your hand under participants. I don't see anybody with their hand up. I see Joseph. Joseph, what have you got tonight? I'm going to ask you to unmute.
How's it going, Ellen? Can you hear me?
I can barely hear you.
Oh boy, can you hear me?
A little bit.
Okay, I've got a new system here, so it's probably not working too well. But you can hear me though, right?
Yeah, I can barely hear you, but yes, I can hear you.
Hold on a second. Hold on. See if I can turn the mic here. Yeah, just come back to me. Let me try to figure out this. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, that was a little bit better what you just did right there at the end.
Didn't do anything. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, so one thing I have found, Joseph, you might want to check as to which microphone you have connected, because I have 2 or 3 different mics and I've accidentally selected the mic that is built into my computer.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's what this is doing. It's 1 second.
yeah, so you can click your microphone on the Zoom window there. Make sure you've got the right mic selected.
Okay, is this better?
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, it was the volume just too low. I just want to make sure it's not distorted.
Yeah, no, you're
Okay,
good.
this is the bass. It's the bass. Okay. Listen, I've got I actually had I think he's a doctor. He just sent me an email. It was from Craigslist. I know because I was using my business email, like what you suggested to do. So I created a new account. I'm using a proxy. So it looked like I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. And I posted, I think in New York or it might've been North Carolina. I can't remember. I posted in several places and I got an email from a guy. He had a doctor looking email, but it was just a basic Gmail account. So I sent him, he said he couldn't upload his bank, right? So I sent him an email introducing myself. I said, listen, I can probably help you out with that. Give me a call or, you know, whatever. And I called Harlequin about this as well. And she gave me really good advice. But the point is the guy never did follow up with me. He never did reply. So I was thinking maybe it's my Gmail or maybe my email's not working. So I sent him an email through my Gmail account. Same thing, no reply. I'm like, that's weird. I mean, how would you, I mean, I had no phone number. I didn't get anything from BD Advance, no kind of email, no information. I'm like, so how am I supposed to follow up with this guy? I like to give him a call, you know?
Yeah, you can't. I can't tell you how many times a week I'll have a call. Somebody will, we'll have a conversation. I send them an email and they never move forward. And it's just constant trying to follow up with them and they never engage. So that's just kind of part of the process. So I know it's easy to get all excited because somebody's reached out to you, right? And you're going, oh yeah, I've got.
Yeah, he told me he's a guy qualified for the 25,000, but I never did get back. But they never did get back with me about my bank account. I couldn't upload my bank account.
Oh,
So
wow.
I called Harlequin right away. I
Yeah.
said, hey, what would you do? And so she gave me some really good advice. I sent him an email, followed it with him twice, by the way, and he never did reply. So I'm like, he's probably not serious. He probably just seen something in the
Yeah.
terms, like what you said, didn't agree with it. So he just fly coop, you know what I mean?
Okay. So, and also in this, if he's already applied and he was made an offer of 25,000, whoever he applied with, he would be tied back to that agent for at least 60 days if he's
Oh,
already gone
okay.
through the process.
Yeah.
So
So they probably
he
try to
couldn't,
follow it with him too.
yeah, he couldn't switch agents midstream, which protects you as it does the agent that initially brought him to the table. So I get calls on that from time to time too, and just have to direct them back to where they started to get that
And I
going.
like another thing on say too, this is for everybody out there as well. I do cold marketing a lot because I live in Peru. Some people know that. And therefore me going out to drop cars, like that's impossible for me right
Right.
now, but I'm planning on heading back. So I was going to say, don't get discouraged if you put out ads. Like, I paid like over probably $200 in ads. I didn't get anything from them. But I'm not going to let that discourage me because of what you just said. You have to have at least, I mean, it's almost like any marketing you do, it's a numbers game. If you put out, if you get like 1,000 clicks to your ad, you may get maybe one or two who actually are serious that'll buy something. That's just the way it goes.
Mhm.
So I just say, just keep going, just keep your head up, keep your head up high, just keep looking up and just look for that mark. I mean, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Good comments there, Joseph. Good question. And you just brought to mind something that I want to share with you guys. Running Craigslist ads. I know Jackie Evans is probably on here tonight, and she just got a campaign going with Craigslist the other day, texted me what she had put out there. And not long after she got the ads live, she texted me and she said, hey, I just had somebody respond to my ad. And she said, they said, is it still available? And I said, oh, that's a scammer. I'll tell you right now. So if you're running Craigslist ads, be wary of, or be leery of scammers that are out there, especially right after your ad has posted. They typically do this on the first hour or first day that a new ad hits, but they're out there. They'll send you a text message if you've got a phone number in your ad, and they'll usually copy the headline of your ad, and then they'll end it with still available question mark. They're trying to get you to engage with them in text messages. I did that. I fell for that when I first started posting those ads, but I quickly learned that they all have the same MO, and that is the next step after they've engaged you in conversation. They're going, well, I need to know that you're real. I'm going to send you a code and you need to enter it into this website. Well, they're trying to hack your account. So just disregard them. When you'll figure out who the hackers are, who the scammers are. I just ignore them, because the minute you engage, then they'll keep bugging you. Hey, are you still there? Are you still there? But if you ignore them, they just go away. So
Can I
be
can I
aware of
say
that.
something about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let me tell you the technical side of that, what they're trying to do. Because if you go to Google Voice, what they're trying to do, they're trying to steal your phone number. And when you give them that code, they can take your phone number, give it to Google, and then your phone number is gone. That's what they do. I'm just
Oh
letting
my
you know the
goodness.
technical side of it.
Oh wow.
And if you notice, if you look at that link, if you look at that, the Google Voice will tell you, do not give this code to anybody else. It's only for you. It'll tell you that. And
Yeah.
then here they say, hey, what's that code? Give it to me. I'm like, dude, this says right here, I can't give it to anybody else. So thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm
So
just letting you know.
don't fall for that if you're running ads. Thanks, Joseph, for that explanation. All right, I've got Sharon has her hand up. What have you got tonight, Sharon? I got Cheryl. Hang on. Cheryl, I'm seeing you. You're muted, but I had Sharon Lee.
I was gonna ask a question, but you said Sharon, so I don't know
did.
if Sharon or me.
Yeah, hang on. Sharon was who I was calling on. There you are. Hey, Sharon, how are you? We'll come
Hi.
back to you in a minute, Cheryl.
Okay, you hearing me?
I can, yes.
Okay. I just found out about the company and I just signed on, and I saw that you are having this web tonight. I haven't done no research or like read up more on the company, but Do you give funding outside of America?
Nope, we only fund businesses that are in the US-based business.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
That's one
welcome.
thing
We're
that's
glad you're
helping me.
here. And
Thank
you're
you.
a fast mover. If you just signed up and you're
Mhm.
already on our team Zoom, welcome, welcome.
Yes.
Now, I know
Thank
you've got a
you.
lot of training that you haven't had
Yes.
time to go through yet, but all of those
Mhm.
questions will be answered in the basic training there.
Okay.
Did you receive an email from me today, Sharon? I can't remember if your name was in that welcome list or not.
I can't say. I got a bunch of welcome emails and different
That's
things,
good.
but
Yeah, I'm Ellen Winn, so mine would have been.
right,
welcome.
I did. I did. I got an email from you.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah, so follow that email that I sent you, that welcome email, and just make sure you go
Yes.
through the checklist and get all of that stuff knocked out.
Okay, awesome.
All
I
right.
will.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
So, someone has to be like 18 and above to come on board, or
Yeah, to be an agent, they need to be 18 or above, or they can have parent permission. Okay, so if you've got
Right.
like a 16
Okay.
or 17-year-old that's a go-getter and their parent agrees,
Yes.
then they can come on board. Mhm.
Okay, because I have a daughter. She's 18,
Okay.
but or she will be 18 this month, in
Yeah, she can go
October.
ahead and get started.
Awesome.
Okay.
So if I like, okay, so say she started, or and say she make a sale or she gets someone to get funding or so forth, you're saying that I will get 3% or 6% on top of whatever I do, or
Now she'll get 3% on her first funding, and you'll get a 50%
right.
match on her check.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah, yeah. And
Awesome. I
that's all
got it.
covered in the video 3 compensation
Yeah.
training. Okay.
Yes, I heard. I saw some of that, or trying to follow on. I will do some studying tonight and get it, because I want to
Awesome.
refer my sister and my brother as well.
Awesome.
So if you refer 2-3 people or 5 people, does it have any? Because like you said, it's 100 people. You make a certain amount, and then you like another 100 people, right?
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah. I was just giving averages on an active team. Okay.
right.
I have over 3,000 people on my team.
What?
Okay. But out of 3,000
Mhm.
people, there are probably 200 that are actually active. So
Right.
it's a numbers game where you recruit people and you're looking for the ones that are going to engage and get active. So keep recruiting, go through the training, and you'll
Yes.
next time you're on one of these, you'll go, oh, okay, I got a better picture of what I just signed up for. So
Right. Right.
okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
Mhm.
welcome. You're welcome. All right. Let's see. I had another question. Joseph, did you have another question, Joseph? Nope.
No, it was a mistake. I'm sorry. Can you delete that?
Yeah. No, I don't know if
It was
I
the
can or
wrong
not.
chat. Sorry, I don't know
No
what
worries.
happened.
Okay. Eugene Clapp, legendary Renegades leader. What have
Ellen,
you
how you
got for
doing?
us tonight?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. Sharon, you're part of the legendary Renegades team. You received the email from me also. All the steps in that email as well. So we'll be looking forward to working together with you to get you going. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, the leadership call was very good this morning. David went over a lot of things. Man, we're about to get to what is known as critical mass. Any of you all been in any kind of marketing association, you know what I'm talking about. Critical mass is where we start growing by leaps and bounds. And I'm seeing all the teams, not just the Renegades, but I'm seeing other teams throughout DAC that are growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, man, this thing is getting really exciting. And if you wait and you don't recruit a team, or you don't follow the directions and look at the emails and look at those 3 videos and things like that from the jump, you're going to be left behind. People, you got to go ahead and you got to follow protocol somewhat with those emails. If you're just coming in, make sure that you watch those first 3 videos, because any questions that you're going to ask will more than likely be answered in those first 3 videos. And the reason I'm saying that, Ellen, I know that you're very nice in the way you say it. I'm a little more pointed, a little more curt in the way I say it. We got to move. We can't be answering questions over and over and over and over and over and over again when they're going to be there. We have to move. We have to master this, and we have to get on it because it is too many businesses to help and too much money out there for us to make in our pockets to help ourselves and our families to be slow boating.
You got it. Yeah, guys. David said we had 1,200 new reps join DAC in the last 30 days. Over 1/3 of those were out of this organization. So great job. We're leading the company. And I say it in our welcome email, you're joining one of the fastest growing teams inside of DAC. And that's all of you guys cumulative, right? Because you're all a part of my organization. So congratulations. Very, very good point there, Eugene. Right on. If you don't get with it, you're going to get left behind. Jack Combs, I saw you had your hand up. Do you have a question or a comment? I'll answer you. I won't let Eugene answer your question. Jack, so don't be afraid to ask a question that's covered in the training.
Are you there?
I'm here. Yeah, I can hear you.
No, I'm just looking for marketing strategies and tips. I've like marketed like every organization I can think of. I've downloaded a bunch of stuff from Facebook groups, things like that. LinkedIn is kind of useless for me. And I've dropped off a bunch of drop cards, the David Allen Capital ones, because I didn't get the Bank Breezy ones yet. I'm just looking for marketing strategies. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So, I mean, everything that's going on out there, people are getting fundings through different methods. Like you said, the social media. Have you gone back and watched some of the Agent of the Month videos, Jack,
Yes.
and
Yes,
taken
I
good
have.
notes on what they're doing?
Yes, I have. I've actually gone back to the first training videos when we first started, but I can't get it together. I mean, I know it's out there. I think like in the last couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I had like 3 rejections. I mean, eight rejections, but I don't know where they came from. Because
Okay.
I did some paid ads on Google Ads. I just tried everything after watching, I think it was JC or somebody that said she marketed this, that, and I tried it. It just didn't work for me.
Okay.
So, I mean, I know there's a key out there. I just have to find it.
Yeah, and there's a magic switch that you just kind of have to work through and keep tweaking. But whatever you've got out there, if you want to send it to me, I'll be glad to look it over and kind of game plan with you offline here and look at your stuff individually and see what you've got going. You want to do that?
Well, yeah, I know you're busy, and I'm going to
It's
Belize.
okay. No, I'm not that busy.
Well, I'm going to Belize Wednesday, and I'll be gone for
know.
12 days.
I
Yeah,
was going to ask you if you were
that's my
already there.
retreat. That's my retreat.
Good for you. Yeah, that'll be an awesome trip. Well, now I'll be glad to go through that with you, Jack. I know that you're pressing forward. You're willing to spend money, and you are spending money. I want to help you get that honed in so that you're getting a return on your investment. And what I mentioned to you a few minutes ago, where I've gone from using bankbreezy.com, I've switched it back over to using the David Allen Capital 25K today tab of the website instead of just the Bank Breezy page. Although by doing that, I'm leading with Bank Breezy, right? But because I'm pointing people to that page of the website, but that way they see everything else too. I know we've had some agents that have gotten customer finance clients in through that process. So it'll open up the door for additional opportunities for you. But yeah, let's take a look at that. Plus the tweaks that are coming along with the website, hopefully by Friday, where you're going to be getting some contact information from people that have at least made it through that second page before tying their bank account. Then you'll have some real leads that you can reach out to and start walking through the process and hopefully get them through the door. Okay.
Well, I'm getting closer every day. Like I said, the more rejections I have, that means at least I'm reaching people.
That's exactly
The
right.
thing is, I don't know how I'm reaching. That's the whole thing. So I'm going to end this and let you get in when somebody's has some really important questions.
Well, that's an important question to me. Just reach out to me by email and let's do some game planning on what you've actually got out there, and we'll try to come up with a plan for you. Okay.
I will. It sounds good.
All right.
Thank you, Ellen.
Yeah. Thank you, Jack.
Yep.
All
Bye-bye.
right. I'm going to mute you. And let's see. Anybody else before we wrap up tonight? Anybody else? I know Mike Dew, our agent of the month, has said that. Yeah, 1 second, Cheryl. Mike Dew, agent of the month, is normally on here, and he sent me a message that he had a family commitment to attend to tonight, that he would be watching us on replay. So for those of you on Mike's team, if you're not seeing him here, that is why. Also, I want to send out, I mentioned Maurice Wright earlier and the struggles that he's overcoming. For those of you that are on our call weekly, you guys have heard from Gloria Gibson. She does testimonials sometimes, and she asks questions. Gloria has been in the hospital with COVID. She's back home now, but if you will, please keep her in your prayers for a speedy continued recovery there. Also want to send out prayers to all of our friends and agents and that have family members in Louisiana that are getting hit by the storm there. I've got some folks that have commented that they're going to be out of power for 2 or 3 weeks. So I know a rough time is ahead for a lot of people. Okay, Cheryl, I'll go ahead and go back to you now. Let me find you here so I can ask you to unmute. There you go.
I'm unmuted.
You are unmuted.
Hey, yes, I'm in Arkansas and we're getting the winds off of the Louisiana stuff. I do have family down there. We're keeping them in prayers. To Mr. Jack Combs, we have a saying here in the South, every once in a while, even a blind hog will find a truffle. Okay. Just keep on doing whatever you will, eventually find your own niche. I've been in marketing with my travel consultant and business consultant deal, whatever I got going on. It's taken 4 years to actually build up and to keep on and just keep on posting and doing what you got to do. You will get there. Okay, Ellen, I have a question for you about the longevity back office. I heard you mention that. Is that our main back office we should be looking through? And how should we promote the longevity, or what's the process in that? I haven't ran across that yet. I'm still processing everything else.
Yeah. So longevity is our tracking center. It is our business center. So David Allen Capital is a freestanding company solely owned by David Rutz. But in 2017, longevity was expanding their consumer-based product line, and decided they wanted to add services. David had David Allen Capital and had experience in the service industry, from telecommunications to other services. So they reached out to him and said, hey, we want to open a service division. We'd love for you to run it. And then they had the conversation to bring David Allen Capital under the longevity umbrella. So we are connected with them as a partner, and that's why we're using their back office for tracking purposes. So yes, it is our back office. I have a video, longevity back office business center tour that you'll find on my Vimeo channel. And I'll take you through the login, what to expect in that, acknowledging that there's a monthly fee or an annual renewal fee, that there's really not, because it doesn't apply to DAC agents. But I take you through all that in the video. And I also talk about longevity a little bit. If you want to use their products or services, you can swap where you're shopping and spend money there, and then money's going through your business center. But we really don't talk about promoting their products. You're welcome to. As a DAC agent, you've got access to all of those lines. You've even got a hempfx.com website.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, they've got some great products.
I checked it out. It's got a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, I use their products every single month. I take their 90 for Life nutritional products every single day. And I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt, my vision is much clearer, because there'll be days where I'll forget about it. I'll get busy and I won't do my little shot of 90 for Life. And I can tell my vision is just getting kind of fuzzy, and I feel like I need a pair of glasses. But when I go back to taking that shot every single day, my vision is clear as a bell. So the nutritional supplements are very high quality. So yeah, you can get
That's
in
good
there
to
and dig
know.
around, and you can go over to their site. They've got a resource center on longevity.com at the bottom of the page. There are all sorts of training videos there, but we just don't talk about it because we're keeping the services and our funding as our main conversation and not trying to get people sidetracked. But if that's what you like, go for it.
Okay, that's where I had got confused at. Thank you, Ellen.
Yeah, you're welcome. Glad you're here with us, Cheryl. All right, and I saw somebody else's hand go up. I thought, did I have somebody else there, Harlequin, that I missed? Yeah, I've got Thomas Stokes. Hey, Thomas, what have you got tonight?
Okay. Can you all hear me?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, I just was been trying to get into the link where you will use the drop cards, and I haven't been able to access anything. Is there
Okay. You're
is
trying
there
to
any
order
problem?
drop cards? Is that what you're asking? You're trying to order drop cards?
Yes, trying to order them, but I just haven't been able to get to where I need to be at. It shows up a storefront on the tab, and
Gotcha.
I go into it, and it gives me all kinds of need to type in username and change passwords and.
Gotcha. All right, so let me try something here. I'm going to take you over to the store here, Thomas, and hopefully you can see this. Thomas, can you see my screen?
Yes.
The Google screen there? Okay, good. All right, so we're going to go over to the storefront, and you're not the only one that has this question. So I'm at the Agent Resource Center, and you've got under miscellaneous tools, you've got your drop card link, right? Is this
Yep.
where you're going? Okay, when you get over there to the Smart Source LLC storefront, the first thing you have to do is create an account to be able to order.
I was under assumption already done that, but maybe not.
Okay, it's not your DAC login. It's not anything connected with DAC. They're just a resource site completely separate from us. And I don't know if it's my internet or their website right now that's creating this. Let's try it again. I'll reload. There we go. Maybe my internet with Zoom going and everything kind of busy. So when you're on here, you're going to click on account. And then for the first time, you're going to go down here to create an account. So you do that. And once you've created an account, then you'll be able to go up here to log in. Okay, so that's the first priority. Then if you've got that account created and you're having problems logging in, you can always reset your login information using your email address, reset it, and just check your email. So I guess the first thing I would say is, have you gone to your email and checked to see if you got any confirmation from them on signing up for an account?
I believe I have.
Okay. If you've done all that and you're still having difficulty, click on the Contact Us page or Contact Us tab there, and you can, well, they're directing you back to the support team. Yeah, I guess that's it. Send an email back over to support. If you created an account, you logged in, but you can't get anywhere, then that's going to be your next step. Or
Okay.
I'll be happy to do a screen share with you one-on-one outside of our Zoom here to try to help you access that. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for trying to order drop cards and taking your business seriously. That's awesome.
I've been trying to make a few contacts, business owners, but so far nothing. So
Okay.
kind of getting discouraged, but
How long have you been with us, Thomas?
30 days today.
All right. Happy anniversary.
All right. Well, thank you.
And have you talked to your enroller and that team?
Very, very seldom. I only got one call from him, and he hasn't really talked to me hardly any. Haven't been coaching me hard at all, but I've been trying.
Okay, well, I'll reach out to you after our Zoom here, and we'll connect and see what we can do to get you moving along there. Okay.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for your questions, and thanks for being on camera tonight. I always like seeing everybody's
Mm.
face. All right, I'm going to mute you. And Harlequin, anything else before we wrap up? Anything in the chat that needs to be addressed?
Yeah, we have a couple of things in the
Okay.
chat. And I'm gonna ask Jeremy, he's new. Do you want to ask your question? Or do you want me to go ahead and say it? I can see you on camera. Okay. You can unmute yourself if you'd like. I see it. There you go.
I'll ask. I was wondering if people have tried submitting their message instead of through email on the contact forms at local business websites.
Oh yeah, some people have done that. I don't know what the success rate is on it, but you can do that. Yeah.
I mean, because I know I have a business website myself, so I know that when I get a contact form filled out there, it's generally right in front of my face. So
Mhm. Yeah.
more so
Yeah,
than
that's a
email.
great way to go in. What we teach on email is that you do a personalized email. Like, let's say that I'm reaching out to you, Jeremy, and you own Ace Plumbing, right? And I saw your truck as I'm going down the road. I saw Ace Plumbing on Canton Highway. When I get home, I might open up my email and send you a message. I saw your truck on Canton Highway in the subject line. That's personalized, where it's probably going to get opened by the owner, right? But yeah, you're right. That's a good point. The contact us form on website. Sometimes if it's a smaller business, you'll have it going to the business owner. If it's a really big company, then it's going to go to some customer service representative that's responsible.
Exactly.
For that. But yeah, good point. Good point.
Just
We're
thought
glad
that.
you're here tonight.
Thanks. It's good to be here. I've been catching up with a lot of your past videos, and I really connect with how you explain things. And so I'm ready to get really rolling.
All right, awesome. Well, I
coming week.
appreciate that. Thanks so
Thanks.
much. Thanks for your comments. All right, anybody else, Harlequin, before we wrap up?
Yep.
I had a question.
Okay.
It's,
Who we
it's
got?
Michael. It's Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, I was wondering, would it be possible to do this as like a part-time thing? Because right now I'm like juggling 3 things at once, like my full-time job, I'm studying for my license, and I'm trying to do this too. So is it possible to do all 3 at once?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, the majority of our agents do DAC on a part-time basis. We talked a couple of weeks ago about breaking your day down into 15-minute increments, right? So, look at your day. To be able to be successful doing this part-time, you've got to make some commitment to it on how much time you're going to put in. If it's an hour a day or an hour and a half a day, whatever, break that timeline down and do it in 15-minute increments, where you take a 15-minute break at work instead of doing a coffee break or a smoke break. If you smoke, then make that productive 15 minutes where you're reaching out and contacting people or sending out emails or making social posts about your business and all that. But yeah, you're right in line with what the majority of agents do part-time with us. You've just got to figure out that timeline to weave it into what you're currently doing. You have a full-time job. Do you have another business that you're doing part-time?
Part-time, well, another business. Well, like I said, I'm studying to get my license, and once I get that, I plan to replace that job with a new job, and I also want to do this too. So I plan
Okay,
right now I'm doing 3 things, but like luckily I'll be just doing 2 in the future.
I
Yes,
got you.
and
Well, if you heard Harlequin introduce me, I've got 3 businesses, right? and I juggle all of those, but two of my businesses are on autopilot. They really are, because they're so well established. So it gives me time to really focus on DAC. Although my main business that came along before DAC, my limousine company, sometimes it distracts just because we're so busy. But I don't have to think about that business. It is on autopilot. I don't have to do any marketing. All I have to do is respond to client requests there. But DAC is my number one focus, so that it becomes my full-time thing and everything else is part-time instead of vice versa right now. So I'm
Okay,
with you.
thank you.
I'm on an almost full-time basis with
Yeah,
DAC,
me
but I
too.
still have another full-time business going. So yeah.
It's not that like I don't like it. It's just like I prefer to have something stable while I do something like that's
Yeah, absolutely. You need a solid income while you're building this. And
basically.
Michael, I'm glad you mentioned that, the part-time thing, because a lot of people get started here and they feel like they got to dive in 100% and they got to have success with it in a short time frame, or they need to move on. And that's really not it at all. In fact, I was thinking earlier about talking about this. So that brings it back to mind that this business is a long-term play. It is starting out part-time, and you keep doing it part-time until it becomes a more part-time, a more significant part-time income, until it becomes a full-time income stream. For some people, it may be 3 or 4 or 5 years down the road before that comes to fruition. So it really depends on how aggressively you want to go after it and how many contacts you're willing to make. As I shared with the slide in the beginning with Shantae and her new agent that got $102,000 funding, or 120. She got lucky with that big funding initially. But we also have agents on the team, JC, who is still wearing the crown and the T-shirt. She got the T-shirt and the crown with 4 fundings in one day. Most of them are in that bank Breezy range, where they're the lower dollar. Some are higher dollar, but averaging those lower few $1,000 fundings. But that's turned into a several $1,000 a month income for her. So she's aggressively figured out her niche. As we were talking earlier about the marketing strategies, and JC has said this on here. Go through, look at the top industries in the Agent Resource Center, and then pick a niche or two and market to those niches instead of trying to do a broad stroke approach to just everybody that's looking for business funding. Appeal to a niche market and get good at it. Mark, with our customer financing platform, he taught us that when they first rolled out our customer financing. He said the agents that will pick a niche and get really good at marketing to that niche, where the language, the industry, the ins and outs of the industry, and you can really speak to that business owner about their industry. That's where you're going to be able to really grow and expand your business. So pick a niche that resonates with you, that is on our top list of industries that we serve. If they're on the top industries for service on funding, they're going to be on the top industry list for customer finance at the same time. And if it's customer finance, it's eventually going to turn into a payment processing client, or can lean on into a healthcare client. So those top industries will be able to branch out and expand into our other services. But you got to get good at that one instead of just doing a shotgun approach to who you're trying to market to. All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you for your question, Michael.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else, Harlequin? Am I missing anything else there?
Yeah, we actually had a couple of people who unmuted themselves, and I remuted them because we were getting a lot of feedback.
I heard that. Thank you. Were there some questions in those?
Yeah, there is one from Susan Brooks. Let me scroll back here. She said, could I connect with someone regarding recruiting agents? All that I've recruited, I haven't heard from since the initial recruitment.
Welcome to recruiting cold market. That's the way it goes. if that's what you're doing, Susan, I would recommend that you do warm market reach out and try to recruit some agents that that you have relationships with. But even then, you're going to find that those people are busy. So it's just a sorting process. You go through the numbers until you're finding the people like Michael that say, hey, I really want to do this. And can I do this part-time in addition to what I'm already doing? Or like me, who this is my third business, but this is my most important business out of the three, because I think, or I know, I shouldn't say I think, I know that the income that I will be able to generate through DAC will far exceed anything that I would ever potentially make with my other businesses. And the marketing that we do, being able to help all the business owners that really need our help, we've got such a value added service that we're marketing. Not only am I helping other people, but I'm getting paid very well to help other people in the process, other people like business owners and other people like you that are up and coming agents, being able to help you guys navigate this home-based business industry to be able to succeed. So it's a win-win for me, and it's where I want to retire with DAC. So the right place at the right time and the right team. All right. I see Susan is unmuted. Did that answer your question, Susan?
It did. But I've tried both recruiting and warm market. One of the people that I work with, she's wanting to retire in January, and her husband wants to travel. But like she told me, she's not going to be able to, they're not going to be able to do what they want to on what she's making for retirement. So I asked her to take a look at this at DAC, and I haven't heard back from her since. She sounded pretty excited about it at first.
Right.
So I don't know. I think I just need to reconnect with her and see what interest she still has in it. But yeah, I need to reach out to a few more people like her.
Yeah, sure. You know, and sometimes there's Jim Rohn did a training, if you know who Jim Rohn is, talking about planting seeds. You know, he says some of them, they're going to land on fertile soil. Sometimes they're going to end on hard soil, and sometimes the birds are going to get those seeds and take them away. In that, with people looking at David Allen Capital, it's amazing how insecure some people are in their own beliefs about something, that they let someone else that has no solid information about what we're doing shoot them down. For example, you share with your friend Ann about DAC. Ann looks at it, she's excited, and then she takes it and shares it with a friend of hers and says, hey, look at this. Susan shared this with me, and I'm thinking about doing this. And Ann's friend shows it to Rodney, and Rodney looks at it and says, oh man, that looks like one of those pyramid schemes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now all
Yes.
of a sudden Ann's excitement goes way down because she believes what Randy just told her, or Rodney just told her, right? She believes him over you, who has the right information and is sharing the right information, but all of a sudden her enthusiasm just dwindles away because she's listened to an uninformed person. And unfortunately that happens way more times than we realize, probably because people get so excited and they think, well, there's no way you'll be able to make thousands of dollars doing that. It's got to be illegal, or it's got to be one of those pyramids, right? So you never know, but I would recommend that you follow up with her. And if you need more solid information for her, invite her to some of the calls that we do. I think the more that she gets in front of David Rutz and listens to him, he just rubs off on you. You know that he's real, and you know where his heart is the more you
Sure.
see and hear from him. So that's what I would do. Invite her to come attend some of the trainings that we do.
Okay, thanks.
Right? Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Anybody else? Harlequin, we're going to wrap up here. Any
Yeah,
last?
I actually have one last thing.
Okay.
I happened to find an article today, and it was initially talking about restaurants, but it was talking about business owners who could not pay August rent. The national average for all industries is 30%. For construction, it's 31. Gyms, it's 33. Beauty salons is 36. Retail is 36. Transportation is 36. Entertainers and artists is 41. And 45% of all restaurants could not pay August rent.
Oh my, so all of those percentages you gave are those industries that can't pay their rent for August, right?
Yeah, that was a Forbes article that came out today saying that 45% of all restaurants could not pay their rent this month.
Wow, that's incredible.
And that is what we are trying to help. Those are the people that we're trying to help. I did post that article in the DAC agents Facebook page. I would highly recommend taking a minute to go and look at it.
Mhm.
But that's what business owners are up against right now. And we have the ability to help them. So
Absolutely. Yeah, and if you didn't listen to today's leadership call, whether you're wanting to build a team or not, I encourage you to go back and listen to David talking about business owners and some of the examples there that he gave. I mean, you really got to get to where what we do is in your spirit, right? And you got to feel good about what we're doing and offering that. David said, you know, he says it many times, it's like the business owner can say no to the offer, right? But they need to know that we exist and that this type of funding is available for them. If they can get funded at the bank, we want them to go to the bank because we don't want them paying higher rates for our unsecured capital if they can qualify for a bank loan. But 8 out of 10 of them can't. So great article. Thank you for sharing that, Harlequin. I'll have to go look that up. That's just really cements in what we're doing here and our whole message to market and helping business owners. So thank you for sharing that. All right, guys, anybody else, anything else? Going once, going twice? We can't do an hour-long call anymore. They go an hour and a half. And I love it though, because you guys are asking questions and you're engaged. So I appreciate your time and attention tonight. If you're watching us on the replay, thanks for doing that. Love it if you could be here live as often as you can, because the live participation really makes it great. So we're going to wrap up. You guys have a great evening. Thanks so much again for being here. We'll see you at the top. Have a good night, everybody.
You too.
Thank you.